Hey everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee. Welcome.
It is Midsummer's Eve, so I have to act like the king of the fairies, right?
Welcome to our monthly Modality message. And happy birthday, Cancers! Woohoo! Bring out the party hats and the cake.
Happy summer solstice, happy Midsummer's Eve.
Blessings to all who celebrate the solstice and the longest day of the year. One of my favorite times, except for the fact it starts going darker earlier.
So we are here to share the glad tidings, as they were.
Mr. O is a dark halfer, and I'm a light halfer.
And I have my magic wand.
I'm going to need that to reach over there.
Well, I'll give you half of it.
You give me the crummy pointer part?
A fifth. Well, maybe this is the pointer part.
Whatever happened to my bamboo one? Oh, well, that's for another time. On with the show. How about it? Oh, my goodness. Sorry, Mr. O.
Alrighty then.
Sorry, not sorry.
So our cardinal modalities are, of course, as you know, the Aries, that is the Banshee here, but also Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And like she said, they are initiators. They get things started. On the negative side, they can be too domineering or self-centered.
What?
Who knew?
What? Okay, be that way. Wait till we get to Mr. Scorpio.
All right. So, is it my turn to shuffle yet?
I shuffled the heck out of these cards for the cardinal signs. So, Cardinals, you are up first. Be ready. Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. This reading is for you for the month ahead till the Sun enters Leo.
All right, so the first card is the primary focus for Cardinals in the month ahead, the basic focus, energy, environmental concerns, whatever, and it's the reversed Ten of Cups.
Oh my! Well, cardinal signs, it looks as though you are going to be working on some, I don't know, maybe some family damage control is the best way to put this. I feel here that your focus is going to be on maybe working your way through some difficult discussions with family members that could get argumentative. So there could be some separations. There's definitely some difficulties in your relations with, particularly, I feel, family, but it could be your tribe as well.
Well, not to confuse too much the idea of a Cancer sun sign personality with the season of Cancer. Season of Cancer would have some of those attributes, the kind of emotionality that maybe is hard to totally hold in place. And so we see that with the Ten of Cups, that is your focus, is the challenge is that maybe there are disruptions majorly in your family or even in strong relationships you have. And so you're going to be trying to work on healing.
Card 2 is the role your interactions with others may play in the month ahead. Wow, and it's the Six of Cups, another real emotional card for the cardinal signs. So it's really interesting to me. Generally, this is a positive card, and maybe it is still. I just can't help but think, though, Mr. O, that does tie in to the Ten of Cups there, in that maybe, this means that in your interactions with others, some memories from the past are going to surface. And I think those are going to be, for the most part, positive. Maybe, in trying to salvage, relationships or family ties that are going asunder, you want to remind people of the good times you've had, the strength that you've given each other, the joys over the years.
Well, the cards are, in my opinion, also very tied in with each other.
Yes.
I mean, this is representing maybe your family or your immediate sense of a community family-wise, that kind of thing. And so with this, the idea that maybe people from your past or the things that give you strong memories from your past, the interactions with those people or your community will really be the motivator, the kind of thing that you will use to sort of work with other people in these repair issues here or this healing.
I think that's a very interesting combination. So what about card 3, the opportunities or challenges that the cardinal signs may face in the month ahead, and how can you best achieve or tackle them? And it's the 5 of Cups reversed, Mr. O.
My goodness, a lot of cups here,
My gosh, it's 3 cups for the cardinal signs. Yeah, talk about Cancer season. Whoo! Well, I think here there are opportunities coming your way, and I don't know how this plays into what we've already drawn here, other than to say that there may be opportunities here to fix things, to make things right again, to smooth things over. Maybe the idea is too that, we need to focus on the strength of what we have together and try to work through our differences now, as adults.
You almost wonder if it's not just that season of Cancer, but maybe other astrological currents during this month. And also, too, you have to look at all of the world events that are going on that really promote a lot of emotionality in people. Having said that, I think the card itself talks about looking for opportunities or finding opportunities with things repairing themselves, coming back. And so it speaks to the nature of the position. And it really does coincide there that, like we said, people and your interactions will be important, but really it's also about finding where that room is to bring in the emotional healing that you really need here.
And finally, the last position is, how can you use your modality superpowers to best advantage this month? Interestingly enough, it is not a cup. It is the Princess of Swords.
And that's the Page of Swords, of course, and it is reversed, so it's a bit interesting there. It could be saying maybe, too, that there's the reverse, the Page of Swords, in this context, it sort of talks about some self-effacing or some sort of humility kind of sense here, like not necessarily being the proud and brave, the flamboyant, but sort of taking the underdog approach, maybe just trying to point out the fact that you too have some weaknesses and that you're not a perfect person. You're not trying to tell everybody what they should do. You're trying to commiserate and kind of say, I'm one of you, you're my peoples, and I want to help find this together.
It's true. As we spoke in the beginning about the cardinal signs and some of their positive, negative attributes, one of them is that they can be awfully domineering. So I feel here with the Princess of Swords reversed, the best way you can use your superpowers is to not be that person. Don't dominate conversation. Listen to what others have to say. Effective communication goes both ways. And, it does show here that, there is a tendency for slip-ups here in the communication department. So don't be too hasty. Don't feel you have to be the first one, the first one to speak. Maybe take a step back and let others speak their minds first.
All right, so shall we do a run-through?
Let's do a quick run-through. What is the primary focus for cardinal signs this month? It looks as though it's cleaning up a mess in aisle 5, an aisle family or aisle tribe. There's arguments, there's disagreements, and there seems to be something pulling you apart rather than what usually brings you happiness and brings you together. And card 2 is the 6 of Cups, and that is the role your interactions with others may play. And I feel here you might try to emphasize those ties that brought you together in the first place. Go back in the past to when things were really going well and remind people of the value of the relationships you have with each other. And okay, that's the opportunities or challenges. And it seems to me, I feel this card is just saying, and you might want to chime in if you want, but I feel it's saying that there is opportunities this month, basically, to turn this around, I feel, to make a positive out of a negative.
It's always possible, too, that maybe some of these people whose memories we're invoking here may still play a role in some of that. And so you may be able to bring them in on that kind of note, of the good times,
And ultimately, use your superpowers, not your negative attributes. Be the initiator, but in subtle ways. Get the conversation going. Don't let people sit with their backs to each other. Get the conversation going by saying, first, I want to hear what you have to say before you chime in. What are your concerns? Where can we possibly reach agreement? Listen and then act.
And to me, this also maybe is suggesting, too, that a little humility would go a long ways as well.
Yeah, something we're not good at, cardinal signs. Hey, good luck, cardinal signs, with the month ahead.
All right, so then now we are on to the fixed modalities. The fixed modalities include Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius.
Did you say Scorpio? Those people who can be stubborn, my way or the highway kind of thinking. They could also be stuck in their ways and funny that.
Determined, resolute.
Thinking they're always right.
Remembers those who've helped them.
Mr. Scorpio.
I give as good as I get.
Okay, enough fun with us. I just couldn't wait to get ya.
So it would appear.
All right. Our fixed people, they're supposed to be the stable ones. Hey, the ones that keep us secure.
Well, I was fixed long ago, but I don't know how stable that made me.
Anyhow. I guess I should have had you shuffle first, eh? Maybe the last one?
Maybe.
But you know how we cardinal signs are.
Pushy.
Always going first. All right. Hey, fixed signs. Oh my. Hey, your first card is the Four of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so that is your focus for the month ahead. Hey, is it time to clean house? I know it's summer and hot, but maybe it's time to just start clearing out some things that no longer serve your purposes. Maybe make some room for something. Let go of some things and perhaps give it to others who may, appreciate it and be able to use it.
Well, it's probably mostly talking about our physical, more material realities. It's the Pentacles, of course. But it could also just be saying that in general, this is a time for us to clear away a lot of baggage wherever it shows up. And maybe it's also, too, about the spirit of generosity. Maybe some of the things we're holding on should be repurposed to where they might serve somebody else.
Is it a time for you to let go of a job that's not paying off? Is it a time for you to, let go of, even relationships? It's hard to say. Let's see what else we get. Let's look at the second card, which is basically about...
Well, how our interactions with others may play for this or other things. And so it is Temperance reverse, so that's interesting. It may be saying, too, that within the context of the first card, that there's sort of a real attitude about free and easy maybe in a way, and not necessarily being very calculated about what we're doing in this process of cleaning house. So it may be that we would allow ourselves to be moved in differing ways, and we wouldn't necessarily maintain an order here. We would just kind of be spontaneous.
Well, temperance is reversed. I feel that, your interactions with others might be a bit stressful. Perhaps they don't like the fact that you're letting go of some things, or, trying to do what you're doing with your life. I feel that, you've got to be very careful in your approach with others, fixed signs. In other words, don't act like you know it all. Act like you're doing this for the right reasons. That it is something you need to do for your life right now. And it is no reflection on anybody else, but something that you have to do.
Okay.
All right, so the opportunities or challenges you may face in the month ahead, how best can you achieve or tackle them? And you have the Eight of Wands upright. Well, I think the best way to tackle anything, whether they're opportunities or challenges, is full steam ahead. Don't back down, or don't back away from it, is what I want to say. Don't be lackadaisical about it. Keep moving forward.
I think that there's also the idea too, maybe it's not the dominant idea, but there is a sense of precision here. There is a sense of knowing exactly where your target is. You are aimed. You are aimed for that. And so everything else is secondary to that. To know where your target is and to be able to hone in on it, is the major part. Having the energy to go through then completes the action.
So I think his point is well taken here. Don't let others distract you from what you have to do.
Wow, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
All right, so finally, card 4, how you can use your superpowers.
Your modality superpowers. Uh-oh.
And it's the reversed King of Cups. This could be saying, too, that this is a time to not necessarily be overly emotional or overly wearing your heart on your sleeve. That maybe you'll be in situations where some TLC is advised, but you want to do it in a circumspect kind of way. You don't want to necessarily feel like your care and emotional concern is a spigot that can just be always left running. So have a sense of reserve in how you may be emotionally counseling or bringing that energy to situations.
Don't be cold. Be wary how your energies, or what you want to get done this month, the changes that you are going to make, this letting go, be aware of how it might affect others around you, and don't be cold, and approach them with an open mind and heart as you let them know that this is the way you're moving with your life now.
All right, so to recap, it's not Virgo season, it's Cancer season, but it still is kind of like cleanup time. It's about eliminating things we don't need or repurposing them in some way.
Right. Shifting your priorities away from something towards something more important, possibly leaving things behind, whether it's people, whether it's material goods, whether it's, a house or property that you might be unloading or selling. There we are. Did you miss us? And it seems as though, it just looks as though there's going to be some stress for you this month. I feel with your interactions with others, just be wary that they could distract you from what you need to do, but also that they might be adding a little bit of stress on you. Perhaps, they're moving, they're interfering with your work, that you need to get done. So don't let it stress you out too much. By all means, take some time for some relaxation and enjoyment with others. It can't be all about work. It's got to be about pleasure too.
I think there's an element here of saying be ready to be a little bit spontaneous, especially maybe in some of your emotional situations.
And so finally, the opportunities or well, not finally, third card, the opportunities or challenges you may face, well, face them head on. Keep moving forward. And Mr. O made a good point here about being focused. This is not just haphazard energy moving around there. It is focused with an intention of getting this done. And so don't let others, as I've said here with temperance, distract you from that.
It's a sense of precision.
And you want to go there?
I do want to go there. So your modality, superpowers, the King of Cups. Don't be too much of a cold fish, but don't also be too warm. Sometimes people have to learn to stand for themselves a little bit. You can be there to be that solid person for them, but remember, you're also there to help people learn how to grow for themselves too.
Firm but gentle.
All right.
That's what we have for you, fixed signs. Good luck with that.
So that was the fixed signs. We're now going to move on to the mutables.
Mutables. Oh, mutables. I like you because you are shapeshifters in a way. You can adapt so easily to things. I envy that. I do. That ability. But then again, if you get a little wishy-washy sometimes, you can try too hard to please others at the expense of, yourself. So beware, and also don't let people stretch you to the breaking point. You're like a rubber band, but even rubber bands have their limits.
And of course, mutables are Gemini, Virgo, yes, Sagittarius, and Pisces, and those are really your more transformative kind of signs. In the all in all, Scorpio itself is a sign of transformation, but there's a fixed quality about it. Here with the mutables, there are things here that really can flex.
One more,
It's interesting that, of course, the two signs that are very much represented in a duality kind of context, Pisces and Gemini, are amongst the mutables. So that,
okay, Mr. O.
The first card is the primary focus for mutables. What's kind of going on in their environment? And it is the devil. The devil will make you do it this month. It's
your focus. Your focus is on maybe, things that are restricting you in some way. It could be any number of things, really. It could be habits that you need to look into, overeating, overdrinking, gambling, you name it, too much sun. How about that for summer? Don't be addicted to things that could harm you. Moderation is the key. But the devil also has another attribute. I don't know if you're going to explore that. It's all about, hey, sometimes we need to indulge a little bit in our in our pleasures, in our little guilty pleasures.
Well, I wasn't really going to go there, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I just sort of feel that in general, this is talking about maybe being compelled to really explore, like you said, some of our habits, but also some of our natures. Maybe there is the nature of us in terms of the things that we really are OCD about. And so, of course, we could be talking about everything from, relationships to aspects of those relationships to a lot of other things too. Compulsive hoarding or collecting even.
It is the card of Capricorn as well, I note.
Yeah, I guess there is that. Something we know about.
Hey, card 2, the role your interactions with others will have in the year, in the month ahead. Holy moly, it's the 9 of Swords.
And it's upright.
This is really giving me pause for thought here. some of your fears, stress, and anxieties may relate from your interactions with others in the month ahead. Maybe it's possible too that maybe that plays right in with that first card, in that perhaps some of the people that you associate with are feeding some of your negative behaviors. Maybe this is a check for you to see about the types of people you are associating with right now, and if they really are in your best interests. Also, the other thing is, and I know this is something you think about with that card, is that maybe right now you are being tied down by being too concerned about others' needs and concerns right now. In other words, maybe you're just being a little bit codependent, on others who may have problems, and you feel like you have to bail them out at your own expense. Do you know what I'm saying there?
Well, I do in a way. There's definitely a connection here, and I
Yeah.
wonder if the obsessive qualities are really maybe overly connected to other people's emotional or other
Right,
difficulties
their needs.
manifesting in that. And so then it sort of creates the idea that you want to save them, you want to help them save themselves, you want to kind of control their situations. And so when you're doing that, you're
Right.
not really letting them experience consequences that maybe help them grow better.
That may help them grow and may help them better face their fears and anxieties, And also, hey, leave some of that stuff for the professionals, right? We can help our friends, we can help our loved ones, but if they need professional help or therapy, by all means, steer them that way.
Well, it really does sound in a way like maybe this is about the mutables are having problems in a very codependent kind of relationship or situation. It doesn't even have to necessarily be their relationship. It could be a work situation where there's maybe some sort of enabling behavior between people, obsessive behavior, people triggering people to manipulate them. It could be talking about things like that, but that could also apply to elsewhere than the workplace. It could apply to your school, your home life, your interactions with your parents or your children.
So this is where the mutable's negative attributes could be a factor here. Don't allow people to stretch you to the breaking point yourself. You have to take care of yourself. All right, go ahead.
Right.
What do we got here?
So the opportunities or challenges you face and how best you can achieve. And of course, we get the card that has the Pisces energy, the moon. And it's upright.
Well, I think some of the opportunities that you have more so, well, there's two sides to this coin here in a sense. The challenge is to really be able to dig deep to search for answers of how to maybe fix a situation without driving yourself crazy, right? So I feel here that, this is about there's some hidden elements here you need to ferret out. But the good news with the moon is your intuition and your gut are working for you. If you've got a funny feeling about this situation or something, if your gut is trying to tell you something, you most likely should listen.
It's almost like we jumped ahead to the superpower, but
I know.
Truly, though, the idea here of the moon is suggesting strongly that there's a bit more going on here with what I alluded to, the possible manipulative behaviors, the idea of maybe people trying to do passive-aggressive things with you in order to get results from you, or maybe you yourself are doing this in your own way and not realizing it. The moon is maybe saying this stuff is going to be found out, that if there are actual emotional secrets going on that are guarding this behavior or guiding this behavior, some of this stuff is going to be revealed over the course of this month, I think.
So ultimately, how best can you use your modality superpower in the month ahead?
And it's the Five of Wands reverse.
I love it in a way. It's basically saying, know when to walk away. Know when to walk away from something that is just too toxic, or too hard to handle, or they're demanding too much from you. Know when enough is enough. Or this is also a call. Maybe you don't have to leave your friends or family or whoever's leaning on you in a lurch. You just need to set some boundaries.
It could very well be that, and I think some of this really is all tied into a lot of passive-aggressive, codependent kind of behaviors, and this is really saying, don't play that game. Like Banshee said, learn to walk away, learn to not compete in that, because it's that energy that is keeping this cycle going.
So this really resonates, I think, for the mutables, because it's all about one of your main attributes, your willingness to go that extra mile for others, to help those in need. You're very altruistic, but sometimes you can get taken advantage of for that.
And that
So
seems to
let's
be the
take a
focus
look at that.
of this month, is that maybe this month is about dealing with some passive-aggressive, codependent kind of situations that are around you. People that are either obsessed with you, the things you may be obsessed with, all of that.
Oh, totally agree with that. I mean, I feel that is what is trapping you right now. Now that we look at the other cards, you are kind of playing a codependent role with others. And it's definitely evidenced here with the Nine of Swords. You might be helping people who are having some serious psych issues right now, or they just have a lot of fear and anxiety related to certain areas of their life. They're broke, finances might be bad right now. Maybe they've lost a job, they're sick, they need help, and it might be more than you really can handle.
It could be that you're just going to really have to try to maintain a little bit more of a distance with some of this, at least for the time being.
So some of this you're really going to have to take a hard look at and search for answers. Maybe it's a matter of finding some support from others who could, help as well. Or just getting to the bottom of what the problem is so that you can help, whoever this is, work through the issues, and trust your gut, trust your intuition and gut. If you feel like somebody is just taking advantage, for example, of your good nature because they need attention right now and they don't feel they're getting enough,
there is something to uncover here,
Yeah.
and hopefully you will be able to do that.
And ultimately, know when to walk away if it's just too much for you. Know when to try to reach agreement with others, and set some boundaries and say, hey, I can help you with this and this, but you may have to find somebody else to help you with that.
Right, you might have to channel energies into something more constructive rather than just, all this bickering that seems to be going on.
Exactly. Woo, that's our readings. We are done. It's an interesting month ahead. It seems like a lot has to do with emotions or, balance issues for the most part.
Cancer season.
Cancer season. So everybody hang in there. It can be an emotional roller coaster, but hey, it can also be fun, happy times. I mean, this is summer after all.
Do I have Betty Davis eyes? Because I'm about to tell you that we should all strap in. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Oh. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us today. Hope you've gotten something out of this reading. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate you all, and we will see you next month for Leo season. Bye-bye.